The following video was recorded on the same day Kyle's crawlspace woke him up yet again. For weeks, he'd been hearing strange noises coming from underneath the house. Soft knocks, shuffling, and the kind of slow dragging sounds that make you question whether something living or something else entirely is down there. But this time, the noise was loud enough to pull him straight out of bed. He grabbed a flashlight, went into the crawlspace to check, and saw a dark figure standing completely still in the far corner, almost as if it had been waiting for him. Later that night, things escalated. Watch.
What the fuck? Shit. What the f? Yo, my house is going crazy tonight. Shit. It's going crazy. The crawlspace thing just happened. It just happened. I'm sure I'm going to be posting that. And now the lights are just going crazy. What the? And my freaking flashlight ain't working. Turn the flash on here. Look at this. Look. What the? Shit.
Kyle has been living in this house for about a year and a half, and the activity has never stayed in one location. It's moved through every part of his home, from the crawl space, to the attic, to the garage, and now even inside the rooms where he sleeps. He's heard children laughing in empty hallways. He's seen objects shift on their own. Many believe the pattern suggests something intelligent, something that isn't tied to a single spot, but instead travels through the home at will. Others think Kyle might be dealing with more than one presence, but the truth is, no one has been able to pinpoint a clear cause for the escalating activity in Kyle's home, and every new clip only makes the situation more unsettling. In this next clip, a couple unknowingly bought a haunted Airbnb, and from the very first day they settled in, it's been one thing after another. Strange noises echoing through the hallways, objects shifting when no one is near them, cold patches moving from room to room, and every now and then the unmistakable sound of footsteps pacing in the basement even though no one lives below. But the moment that really made them start documenting everything happened on October 23rd at around 6:10 p.m. The wife and their dog Vito were downstairs when they both froze at the same time, hearing something moving in the upstairs portion of the Airbnb. Vito ran ahead up the staircase, but the second he reached the top, he flinched hard at something none of them could see. Watch this.
Vito, come on back, buddy. Come on. Poor buddy.
According to the wife, for weeks now, Vito refuses to go any further than the top of the stairs. And anyone familiar with paranormal cases knows that is never a good sign. Dogs avoid areas that have strong energy signatures, and whatever is upstairs clearly makes him feel unsafe. But you see, while the husband is exhausted, overwhelmed, and constantly on edge from the non-stop disturbances, the wife remains strangely calm. She says it's because this is his first brush with something paranormal, but for her, these things have been happening ever since she lost her mother 10 years ago. She's been on a long spiritual journey since then, visiting mediums, trying different forms of communication, and opening herself to all phases of the paranormal in hopes of feeling her mother's presence again. And that's exactly where a major debate started. Because many people believe this entire haunting might not be tied to the Airbnb at all, but to her. When you open yourself spiritually, especially through mediums, seances, or grief-driven communication, it's widely believed that you also open doors you don't fully understand. And instead of attracting a loved one, you may attract something completely different that simply mimics familiar emotions to get your attention. So now the rumors are beginning to shift away from a haunted Airbnb to a spirit attached to the wife, and the timing lines up disturbingly well. The couple eventually left the Airbnb and moved into a new home, hoping to escape whatever was happening, but it's starting to seem like something followed them there too. Listen closely.
Okay, if you have anything to tell us, we're listening. We heard you. What do you have to say?
She caught this voice on camera as her husband took their dog out for a walk. Some viewers were terrified, urging her not to respond to whatever it was, but according to her, not everything is demonic, and she feels some spirits simply want acknowledgement. She's even taken it upon herself to figure out exactly what's in her home, why it's there, and whether she can help it move on. But here's the part no one can ignore. If this truly began long before the Airbnb, then leaving the house was never going to solve the problem. The attachment might be to her, not the property. Weeks after this video was recorded, the whispering didn't stop. In fact, it became more frequent. Watch this.
So we're open to communication. There's been stuff happening on the property in our other building, and earlier today. So this is the time to talk if you have anything you want to say to us. You're getting tons of orbs.
And it's right where you said, like right here. Are you? Let's see.
Tell us your story. We're open to hear. And we're not judgmental. You can tell us anything.
This time she couldn't clearly make out what it said, so she posted it online. And surprisingly, most viewers heard the same thing. The voice saying Maisie. Every other sound they've caught in that house has been confusing, distorted, or completely unintelligible. But this is the first time a name has come through clearly. Whether Maisie is the entity trying to reach out, a person connected to the wife's past, or something else entirely, they're still trying to figure it out. And they're hoping that one day they'll finally get an answer. Now, in this next video, a hospital worker was assigned to a room that many staff members quietly refer to as the haunted one. Every hospital has that one space, an older room with a heavy history, a place where people feel watched even when they're alone, a place where equipment seems to malfunction more than it should. And for her, this was that room. She said she felt uneasy the moment she stepped inside, so before she began her shift, she decided to test something. She set her camera up in the corner of the room and then walked away for a moment. When she came back to check the footage, this is what she caught. If this had happened in an ordinary house, maybe a bed moving on its own, people might try to explain it away. But this happening in a hospital, that's something people won't overlook. So many souls have groaned, suffered, and passed on in that exact bed. Some believe that the energy of a patient's final moments can cling to the objects around them, and others think someone might still be hanging on to the last moments they spent in this room. And when she shared more details, things only got stranger. This wasn't just any room. It was part of the labor and delivery department, and it was often used for patients in isolation due to severe illness, or patients experiencing IUFD cases where the emotional weight in the room is already overwhelming. She even added that most staff avoid placing anyone here unless they absolutely have to. Some don't even like standing in the doorway for too long. Even after hearing all of this, some people online still doubted the bed moved on its own, so she shared this clip.
Here, I'll plug it. Well, I guess it's plugged over here, but...
The remote was right there on the bed, completely unplugged, not connected to anything. And yet, the bed still lifted and lowered by itself, as if responding to a patient who wasn't physically there anymore. For many viewers who've had their own unsettling experiences in hospitals, this video opened the door for them to share their stories too. The comments were filled with people recalling similar encounters in quiet rooms, empty hallways, or places where life and death intersect every single day. So, if you've ever felt something unexplainable in a hospital, this might be the moment to share your story too. Now, you might recognize this house from previous videos, an old property that once belonged to an elderly couple who passed away, leaving the home completely abandoned for years. A ghost hunter and his crew had been investigating the place for weeks, documenting everything from quiet knocks in the hallway to objects shifting on their own. But on this particular night, they noticed something different, something that felt restless. For the first few hours, everything stayed relatively calm. A curtain swayed, a picture frame tilted, nothing too threatening, just the kind of subtle activity that makes investigators believe a spirit is simply trying to communicate. But that sense of calm didn't last. According to them, the longer they stayed, the more they felt like whatever was in that house had started to grow uncomfortable with their presence. Watch this.
Băi, dăm ciuta.
Băi, lasă-vă prostile, nu mai te plimbi. Băi, mă plimb în jurul tău. Dă-mă ciuta, lasă, dă ciuta omului. Te plimbi acum.
Băi, mă duc să văd o leacă ce are.
Băi, eu intru să...
Ce are scris pe ea, poate are scris pe ea 1743, că nebunesc. Da, bule. Băi, oprește-se, iau ciuta aia. N-a futut nația, mătii. Na, dă-l jos. Dă-l jos, futu-ți rasa, mătii, na. Ia că ți-am luat ciuta, uite-o.
Alin, pune-i măcar așa aia acum.
Hai! Na, ciuta, sărăcio, ho, oprește-te!
Mâncați-a și pula ta.
Doamne ferească Dumnezeu!
De la ciută...
Na, vă mă, paranormal.
Măi, de la ciută faci așa.
Na, mă, ia la spânzuri cu ciuta aia, tragă în gura ta.
Ai pus-o invers, mai cu ciuta cu capul încolo, ai pus-o?
A fost scoasă din poză.
Ce-a făcut?
Da.
Am lipit-o și nu se mai poate deslipi.
Da, leagă-te la cap cu ea, dar ce nervi așa pe tine, mă, fată?
Ai pus ciuta cu capul încolo, băi. Spui acum cine dă. Hai de pula mea.
Da, păi noi trebuie să mai râdim ca să nu ne căcăm pe noi. Am uitat să mă uit din subte. Hai că vin! Da, bune, am uitat să mă uit, mă, Didi. Ia uite, măi, na. Vezi că tu, mă, te poți să faci cât vrei.
Băi, pune.
Dă-i tare, du-te, tragă în gura ta.
Nu, în jur, băi, jos. Dar nu-i de-aia.
Na. Na.
Each time they reached out to pick something up from the table, no matter what it was, the objects began vibrating violently until they dropped them, almost as if the spirit was saying, "Don't touch my things." Still, the investigators didn't leave. They believed the spirit wasn't trying to harm them, only protective, territorial, and clearly aware of everything they were doing. So they decided to do a full sweep of the house, hoping to capture more evidence of what they were dealing with.
Să ne arunci prin grinzele astea, să ne rupă capul și la revedere. N-auziți mărit? Măr! Dă-te, mă, ba pula, mă, ăsta. Gata, băi, hai, divă, să închidem, să plecăm acasă, mă.
Mărmărei.
Lasă-mă dracu în pace. Am zis măr, măi, la mișto am zis. Doamne ferească, Dumnezeu. Reptilian, măi, ce ăsta? Tactilograf.
Telegraf.
Every room they walked into seemed to respond to them, and the deeper they moved into the house, the more intense the activity became, like the spirit's patience was wearing thin.
Uite, mă, MF-ul ăla nu mai face nimic, nu se mai...
Măr.
Uite și suntem cu telefonul la 2 metri de el.
Moartea în spectacol.
Ia, moartea în spectacol.
Mișcă la, da, asta o leagă.
M-am murit în război. Dă-te MF-ul jos, mă până în jos.
Abandonat.
Că m-au zis de MF că nu se mișcă, că nu s-a prins nicio lumină, l-au dat de tot jos. Măr!
De ce ai venit?
Nu vomite, ce face, mă, frate?
Să sugrumă, măi, cum așa face, cred că omul când se spânzură, dar cred că ăsta-i somnul. Eu n-am auzit niciodată.
That moment finally gave them a little more insight. Whoever, or whatever, was still roaming this house belonged to someone who had suffered during the war. Some viewers believe it might be tied to the former homeowner who reportedly lost a loved one overseas. Others think it could be a residual imprint, a fragment of a soldier who once stayed there during troop movements decades ago. But until the team returns with more answers or clearer evidence, the true identity of the spirit still remains a mystery. In the following video, Mosh explains that he believes he's been stalked by something dangerous. Over the past few weeks, he's mentioned waking up to footsteps pacing outside his bedroom door, shadows slipping past his hallway even when all the lights are off, and his unplugged TV flickering to life in the middle of the night. He's also talked about hearing low whispers, words he can't make out. Coming from corners of the house, he refuses to enter alone anymore. But one morning around 5 a.m., things escalated. Watch.
There's nobody here. It's just me and I'm shaking so hard because I just came down the stairs to make coffee and I was doing that and then I turned around and I saw something and then I came over to look and I heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Like you know when you hear the stairs coming and you know which way somebody's coming, up or down. You can tell which way somebody's coming. So I heard somebody coming down the stairs and it's 5 in the morning, so it's not my dad or my mom. I hear I was just sleeping. I heard whispering and I heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Oh my god. Okay. Hi cat, hi. Hey beautiful. You scared the crap out of me. I thought you were something different. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. It didn't sound like you were coming down the stairs though. It sounded heavy. Why are you down here so early?
Whatever this was didn't just feel random to him, it felt intentional, like something had been creeping closer and finally decided to make itself known. Now, with everything he's been experiencing, people advised him to do an egg cleanse. In the paranormal world, an egg cleanse is believed to pull out negative energy or spiritual attachments, almost like wiping off something clinging to your aura. If the egg cracks strangely, turns cloudy, or shows dark shapes inside after the cleanse, many believe it's a sign that something unwanted was attached to you. And for someone living in Appalachia, where folklore, spirits, and strange encounters are practically part of everyday life, viewers weren't exactly surprised. They've heard enough stories from the mountains to know, when something starts following you out there, you pay attention. In this next clip, a group of explorers went to visit Selma Mansion in Norristown, a place steeped in dark history and ghost stories. Legend has it that during the Victorian era, the mother of the Knox family and several of her children died in that very mansion. Since then, visitors have reported strange, mischievous activity. Cabinet doors slamming open and shut on the 3rd floor, and shadowy figures glimpsed deep in the basement. People whisper that the spirits of the Knox children are still playing their old games. So when the explorers arrived, they didn't waste time. They set up a spirit box session, hoping to communicate with whatever might still linger in the walls. But things didn't stay calm for long. Watch this.
So did you write this story? Hello.
Are you the one slamming the gate?
Yeah. Turn my toy back on, please. No. I hate it. No, it's just like noticing something. You're not like the flashing lights?
As they tried to pick up responses, something unmistakably out of place moved. One of the team said the air felt thick, like a weight pressing down on them, making every breath feel heavy. Now the question is this solid proof that the rumors about the Knox children haunt the mansion, or is there a different explanation we're missing? Now, in this next video, a man captures something he's certain isn't normal. He was sitting on the couch watching TV like any other night when he suddenly heard a soft jingle, the zipper on his wife's handbag, the same bag that had been sitting untouched for hours. No one walked past it, no one brushed against it, nothing. Just a sudden metallic rattle in a perfectly still room. Curious and a little uneasy, he got up to check what was going on. But the moment he moved closer, this happened. How do you explain something that hasn't been touched for hours suddenly shifting on its own? No breeze, no pets. Normally, he and his wife might have shrugged it off. But recently, too many strange things have been happening in that house for them to ignore. Just 2 nights earlier, the wife said she saw a shadow walk past the doorway, even though her husband was asleep beside her. So when the bag moved on its own, it didn't feel random. It felt like part of a pattern, something building and getting bolder. Paranormal or not, one thing is clear. Something in that house is trying to make itself known. In this next video, a man was in his room watching a movie when he suddenly realized something strange was happening in his bathroom. And to this day, he still has no idea what he walked into. Take a look.
Oh shit. Guys, I'm here watching the Polar Express movie, my favorite movie, and something is screaming from the bathroom. Or towards that area. I heard something from over here. Who's in here? If you're in here, come on out. Come on out, I said. Come on out now. Something bad. Something stinks. If you're in the bathroom, come on out. Come on out. Oh shit. Come on out now. Come on out. Ah shit. Oh shit. Hey. Who's in the bathroom now? Oh shit. Oh shit, it's nobody. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. Ah, fuck. Oh shit. I just saw something. I'm getting the out of here. Stay the fucking.
The very first thing that hit him when he opened the door was the smell. Sharp, sour, and overwhelming. A sudden bad odor appearing out of nowhere is almost never a good sign, especially in paranormal circles. Many believe that foul smells can signal a spirit trying to manifest, or something darker trying to draw attention to itself. But what really unsettled viewers was something he hadn't even considered at first. He had two mirrors facing each other. For a lot of people who study or follow the paranormal, that setup is a big red flag. Two mirrors facing each other are believed to create an infinite reflection, a kind of open tunnel or energy loop that some say can invite activity or amplify whatever is already present in the home. So when you combine all of this, the sudden foul smell, the strange disturbance in the bathroom, and the mirror-to-mirror setup, whatever he walked into wasn't random. But as always, I'll leave you to be the judge. The following video was recorded by a man who has never been able to stay in one apartment for long. Every time he settles somewhere new, things start out normal, until a few months pass. Then the same pattern begins. Unexplainable noises, objects shifting on their own, and that unnerving feeling of being watched. And in this new house, the activity has already started. Only this time, each encounter seems worse than the last. One night, just as he was about to go to bed, he heard someone banging on his door. Watch closely.
Right, banging again. It's like something on the stairs. You can't hear it though. I can. Yeah. It's weird. It's not next door. It's like the what the There might be pipes in floorboard. So every time I look, there's nothing there, though. On the stairs, quick. Nothing there. I need to tell him shit. Turn the water up. Freaking myself out.
If you look carefully, you'll notice a dark figure in a hoodie just standing there, watching him. But here's the real question. Could watching be the only thing this figure can do? Because the idea that someone is quietly observing you inside your own home is already disturbing. The kind of fear that sticks with you, makes you double check your locks, keeps you awake at night, wondering what you didn't hear or didn't see. But with cases like this, it's almost never a one-time thing. Watch this.
There's something banging then. Something was banging. I'm talking to myself. Something was banging, like on my stairs. Dusty as being a Han näbb så. Kolla. Something there. What the? Freaking myself out, man. Calm down. What the f was that? What's that? Something up there. What the f? What the f?
Whatever is in this house, it's getting bolder. And to make matters worse, viewers have pointed out that his videos show a crazy amount of orbs. So what do you think he's actually dealing with here? Is this man simply unlucky with every home he chooses? Or is something following him from place to place? You decide. Now, in this next video, a ghost hunter named Donnie has been dealing with a sudden spike in activity inside his home, and it's all happened within the past 3 weeks. According to him, whatever is going on didn't start randomly. He believes something followed him home after an EVP session, and every day since, the activity has been getting stronger. One morning, he woke up to the sound of someone running down his stairs, fast, loud, and heavy, but here's the part that chilled him. He was completely alone. He grabbed his phone and started recording. Take a look.
Oh, what the? Off. Straight off. Who's here? Who's here? Me. Do you see that? That should not be good. Who's going up my stairs? Hey, buddy. You okay? Who's here? Are you okay? Are you okay? Holy sh... This has got to stop. Fuck that. Two swinging lights. I don't know what the you can't be here. You have to go. I didn't tell you to come here. So I'm the only one here. Ever since this is getting way...
Objects moving on their own, cupboards swinging open, footsteps on floors where nobody should be, and sharp knocks echoing through the house. These aren't occasional events anymore, they're becoming aggressively common, but something else made him truly terrified. Watch this.
I don't want you at the top of the stairs. You come, come on, this is your playroom. This is our playroom, don't be scared. Come on, buddy. This is your basement. This is me in your basement. Come on. Terry, you don't gotta be scared. You come with me. Come on.
think something's down here? Come on. Come with Daddy. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You don't have to be scared. You come with me. What, someone up there? You okay? What's that look for? You look... Are you scared, buddy? You don't have to be scared. You're a good boy. You don't have to be scared. I'll pick you up. You want me to pick you up? Come here. You want to come? I'll protect you. Okay. This is his basement. You don't have, I've never seen, why aren't you coming? Hey?
After that, he went down to the basement to try to figure out why his dog was acting that way, and that's when the situation crossed into something far more unsettling.
So, it's holy water. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. What the? Thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. This is the stair. Holy fire. Forgive. You cannot stay here. You are not welcome. I did not invite you. Are you okay? You don't have to be scared. You stick with me, okay? What did you see? Did you see something? Holy shit. Did I not just close that? No, I left that open. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. That's... You gotta go. You were not invited here. You're not wanted here. Okay, I got you set up. You're pointing towards that. All right. The top of this scare case is where I thought I saw a shadow. And this... that was moving like that.
For someone who has been inside more haunted locations than most people will ever step foot in, it's easy to understand why Donnie thinks something attached itself to him and followed him home. But until we get more updates from him, this case remains an unresolved and very alarming mystery. Now in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his deep dive into one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This time, he headed straight into the basement, a part of the building many people refuse to enter. According to long-standing rumors, the basement is home to the spirit of a little girl who used to run and play down there, And there's also an old piano said to start playing by itself when no one is around. When Ian reached the bottom of the stairs, he began trying to communicate with whatever presence might still linger there. At first, everything was quiet, just that heavy, stale basement air. But then, this happened.
What the hell was that? Whatever it was, it sounded loud. And metal. Did you just move something in here? Oh God! Oh God! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I know exactly what that was now. It was that freaking doctor's table. Or whatever the heck that is. Oh God. I don't think I could stay down here much longer. Dude, that thing just freaking moved. All by itself. Just take deep breaths. You can get through this. Oh God. Look at that thing. It was literally up against the wall. And now look, it is way out here. In the freaking drawer. The drawer's open too. That wasn't open before. Was this one of the doctor's tables that was used in this hospital? Oh my God. All right, I'm legitimately ready to go. I don't want to be down here. That literally sounded like a little girl. A little girl's voice.
It sounded like a child's voice, and the moment Ian heard it, he froze. He couldn't shake the feeling that the stories he'd heard were no longer just rumors. Something was down there. And after this moment, Ian wasn't the only one convinced that the basement holds a spirit that never really left. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was recorded by a guy named Jay when he and his cousins went to a cemetery. Watch this.
Imagine somebody just walks in.
It's church time. Come inside.
What, you scared me?
Come on, let's go, guys. Oh, I thought that was a flower.
Where?
Are you recording?
Yes. No, yeah, I heard that.
No, but no, you heard that, right?
According to Jay, when they reviewed the video again, he swore he heard a voice that didn't sound like any of them, almost like someone singing in the background. And then came the faint squeak of what sounded like a chair shifting across the ground. That's when they realized this wasn't just their imagination, the place was different. But what do you really expect from a cemetery, especially one like this? Locals say years ago a caretaker lived on the grounds and was found dead in his small office, slumped over in his chair, and some still claim they hear it creaking late at night. Others whisper about a woman who wanders between the headstones humming lullabies, searching for the grave of the child she lost. Some even claim to have heard names being called in voices they recognize, only to turn around and find no one there. With all of those tales already surrounding this graveyard, Jay can't help but wonder if what they captured is another piece of the puzzle, or just coincidence. What do you think? This next video was captured by a woman named Ayers, who's become known online for recording the weird things that happen around her house. At first, it was small, coins spinning on end in the middle of a table with no breeze, a framed photo sliding slowly across a mantle, but over the years, the activity grew stranger and, at times, frighteningly violent. One night, a stack of plates toppled as if shoved by an invisible hand. Another time, a lamp was flung across the room and smashed against the wall. This time, whatever was in the house focused its attention on a single spot and the camera caught every second. Have a look.
There you go, see? I knew I saw it. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, I don't know if you got that then, but it sounded like a bit of a growl. I'm not scared of you. Guys, are you seeing that? It's not me, look. There's nothing there. I'm keeping it there because I don't want to get my kids' pictures on. What the fuck? Oh, Christ. Sorry, Lord. Why are you moving my flowers now? Buy your own. Wow. It looks like you've rearranged them. How bizarre. My little girl got me those and I've had them for years. So please don't wreck them. Oh, that is messed up. Hello? Do you want to give me a message? Is there anything you want to tell me? Who are ya? Oh, I've got a bit of a tap. I don't know if I picked that up. If you are my father... Oh. See, this is why my head starts to go peeps, because every time I mention my dad, bad things start to happen, and it's like he's really trying to... I don't know, I just can't understand it myself. How bizarre. It's just crazy. If it's you, Dad, do something again, please. It's just some plastic flowers, they're not even real. Seems to be gone now. I'll upload that, guys, and give me a comments and likes and tell me what you think. Bizarre.
Ayers admits the activity often spikes the moment she starts talking about her dad, a pattern she finds impossible to ignore. Skeptics say coincidence and camera tricks can explain a lot, but when movements become aggressive, it's harder to chalk it all up to gravity or a loose shelf. That raises a painful question she's had whispered back to her by viewers. If this is her dad trying to reach out, why would a loved one's spirit act like this? Why the anger, the sharpness of the movements, the times when it seems to be trying to get her attention rather than comfort her? The theories keep stacking. A number of viewers claim they've seen what looks like a Ouija board tucked away in a corner of one clip, a detail some say Ayers never mentioned. That possibility changes the tone. If there's been an attempted communication device in the house, maybe whatever answers came back weren't friendly. Others suggest a pendulum effect, that an invitation was made and something latched on. This is where things start to get pretty creepy. There's even older footage. Ayers posted a clip all the way back in 2014 showing the same kind of unexplained motion. That long timeline makes this harder to dismiss as a single prank or a one-off glitch. Have a look.
Is that it? I'm doing it all night, come on. Take a break. What you want? Guys, are you seeing it? Whoa. How is that possible? Come on, it's in a jar. At least they didn't lie to me. Cheers for that. Thank you. I am shaking.
So, if objects have been moving in inexplicable, often aggressive ways in your home for years, what could that mean? It could point to a persistent haunting, a presence that's attached to the location. It could be poltergeist-like activity tied to repeated emotional turmoil in the household. Or it could mean someone opened a door spiritually long ago and whatever came through never left. But like the other clips, I'll leave you to decide. It can seem cute when kids talk about having an imaginary friend they like to spend time with, but the moment they start panicking, pointing into thin air, or acting terrified at things no one else can see, that's when the situation takes a darker turn. And that's exactly what the mother in this next clip has been facing. Watch this.
Where's Halloween? I know. Show me. There. Where? There. Go over there and show me. Where? There. Home. My house. Go. What is it? Ghost.
She explained that she didn't post the video for attention, but out of real concern, hoping for advice. According to her, it's no longer just about bedtime stories or playful chatter. The child wakes up several times in the night, screaming as if something is right there in the dark. For a parent, it's terrifying, not knowing if this is all imagination, a sign of something psychological, or something much more unexplainable. And the more it happens, the harder it becomes for her to convince herself that nothing unusual is going on. Looking back, the mother admits this isn't the first time something strange has happened. A few months earlier, she would hear faint footsteps moving through the hallway at night when everyone else was asleep. She never thought much of it until her child began pointing to that same hallway, insisting there was someone there. Now, she can't shake the feeling that she might be overlooking something much bigger, so here's the question. What would you do if you were in her place? This next clip was posted by a woman whose mother runs a small in-home daycare. One afternoon, while the kids were playing, one little boy suddenly screamed and the moment was caught on the daycare's camera. But what the family discovered when they reviewed the footage later is what turned nervous laughter into real fear. Watch this.
Maybe it was just air. Yeah, what was it done? I couldn't
It can't just be coincidence that the playhouse toppled right after the boy ran out screaming, and from the way he screamed, it's clear he saw something. That kind of scream isn't the sound of a stubbed toe or a toy gone wrong. It's the sound a child makes when something deeply instinctive tells them to run. Nobody could explain it at the time, but later the video was replayed, this time frame by frame, until someone noticed a detail almost hidden in the shadows. Watch again. Look closely at the doorway. When the footage was slowed down and zoomed, you can clearly make out a pair of pale hands gripping the doorway, then retreating back into the room right after the child lets out that piercing scream, as if whatever it was reacted to him running. Now, after seeing several comments and questions, the daycare owner's daughter posted this video.
I wanted to quickly show you exactly what it was that was scaring the little kid that my mom was watching. So pretty much, so firstly we have the house, and obviously you guys saw that it fell, but the other thing I wanted to point out was that it's pretty hefty, so it really doesn't make any sense that it would just fall on its own like that. So that's just something I wanted to point out. And this is the room. The crazy thing about this is that there was like markings at the top of the entranceway of like the doorway, and I guess in the video you can see hands gripping onto the doorway. I don't really know what to make of that. I thought at first that it was like bugs or something like that, but it looked almost like two hands like gripping on the top, like leading into this room, just like. But the main thing, and the reason that the little boy was screaming, is actually in here. We have this covered up for a reason. Apparently, the little boy told my mom that he saw a face in these mirrors. We already found someone who's going to take it off our hands and pick it up off Facebook Marketplace, but we have been keeping this room off limits.
They tried to get the boy to describe the face he saw, but he couldn't. He just screamed and would only say it was bad. To prevent this from happening again, they covered the mirror with a sheet so the other kids wouldn't be spooked and kept that room off limits while they investigated.
Sorry about the squeaking. I'm sitting on like this little, it's like a swing thing. I don't know. So my mom runs a daycare, as you probably like guessed. She's had it for a couple years now, a good while. She's pretty established with it. I wasn't home, I was out doing groceries, so I actually didn't see it in person. Okay, I came home and my mom showed me the video and I was like, oh my god. So the kids came in, everything was fine, and my mom went to go grab something from the living room. And then she heard the kids screaming and ran over, you know, just like immediately ran back. I mean, she's great at what she does, so obviously she did that. And yeah, so obviously she didn't know at the time. She really just thought like one of the kids had knocked it over, because I guess they were kind of rowdy earlier too, so she genuinely thought that they knocked it over. That's why she's like, you look at the footage, I mean, you guys saw it, like it literally just, so to me at first when she was telling me, I was like, oh, that's kind of spooky, you know, but like I didn't really think anything of it. But then when I was like watching the video, it kind of really freaked me out. So yeah.
They tried to come up with normal explanations, maybe a camera glitch, perhaps a bug on the lens, or a doll's reflection catching the light, but many viewers disagreed. And then this next clip made people stop arguing about optics.
That's creepy. Do it again. Like, yeah, okay. Do it again. I'll wait. Do it again. Open the gate.
This time the child safety gate opens on its own on camera, and if you watch closely, something presses out against the sheet, like fingers pushing from the other side. The terrifying thing is, there shouldn't be another side. Under the sheet sits only a vanity mirror. There are no moving parts, no hidden compartment, nothing that should be able to press out against fabric like that. They still have no idea what was underneath the sheet, and they realized they needed to act fast for the kids' safety.
That we're gonna keep the room closed off from the kiddos for now so they can play in the rest of the space. We actually are going to go ahead and get rid of the vanity. We put it on Facebook Marketplace. Obviously we told them like, hey, like, we think that this is responsible for some weird haunting stuff. They said they were fine with it, so I don't know. This is closed off for now. So the kids are just gonna stay here and not in there anymore until we get this figured out.
The daycare owner is terrified, not just for herself, but for the parents who trust her. And she's desperately trying to figure out if this is a natural hazard, a prank that got out of hand, or something far darker. They've asked viewers for advice and haven't ruled out temporarily closing the daycare if a definitive safety risk is found. But until there's an explanation, or they post new videos, this remains a mystery. The following video is about a man named Troy, and the disturbing things that have been happening in his house. Watch this. It's like whatever's in there can't decide what it wants to do. Troy's convinced it's a demon, and honestly, with the growling sounds he's captured, you can understand why. But then again, why would a demon even be in his house in the first place? That's the question that keeps him up at night. Do entities like this just pick random places to attach themselves to? Or is there always a reason people overlook? Whatever's in Troy's home doesn't limit itself to one spot either. It moves, from the living room to the hallway, and even to places he'd least expect. Take a look. Before the crawlspace door was even opened, look closely at the table. Small movements, subtle signs, almost like something was walking around the room restless. All of this has made Troy absolutely certain he's not alone in his own home. Now, people online have plenty of theories. Some believe something must have been buried under the property before the house was built, maybe the spirit of someone disturbed. Others think it's a classic case of a mimic, a malevolent entity pretending to be something harmless until it's not. And then, of course, there are those who believe Troy might have unknowingly invited something in, through objects, rituals, or even emotions like grief or anger. But things got a lot worse when the activity stopped happening only when no one was home. Now, they're seeing things in real time, and it's starting to affect his son too. Watch this. The boy said he saw a face staring at him from inside the crawlspace when the door opened, and that's why he ran to his dad. Right now, Troy's desperate for answers, for guidance on what to do before this escalates any further. So, if you've ever had to deal with something similar, or know what steps might help, drop your thoughts below. You never know. Your advice could be what saves this family. In this next video, a man shares a strange problem he's been dealing with at his shop. Every single morning when he comes in, he finds his occupancy certificate lying on the floor. Everything else in the shop is perfectly fine. Nothing stolen, nothing moved. Just that one frame. He even went as far as securing it in a sturdy frame, thinking maybe a gust of wind was knocking it down. But no. The very next day, same thing. On the floor again. So he decided to check his security footage, hoping it would finally give him an explanation. This is what he saw. Watch.
So we're gonna trick them, okay, guys? Because again, they knocked it down. The same video, they knocked down the other again. So you wanna knock down my certificate of occupancy, now you're gonna knock down the price of this too, right? So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll see how long it takes him to do it, or she. Where is she? Yeah. Oh my God.
Now, he's starting to think maybe whatever's behind this doesn't want him there, or doesn't like what that certificate represents. Some people say it could be a former occupant, still attached to the space and refusing to let anyone else claim it. Others think it's something symbolic, like the spirit's way of rejecting the idea of ownership altogether. Either way, he's out of logical explanations. So what do you think? Is he reading too much into it, or is something really trying to send him a message? Now, in this next video, a lady moves into her grandpa's house after he passed away. It was his final wish for her to live there. But from the moment she stepped inside, she realized the place wasn't quite what she expected. Her grandfather had one of the strangest antique collections imaginable, from old clocks that still ticked without batteries to faded portraits and porcelain dolls that seemed to stare right at you. Out of respect, and maybe a bit of nostalgia, she decided not to get rid of any of them. And for a while, everything seemed fine. Until things started getting weird. Watch this.
This thing just moved.
Screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and Stephen Fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win. See how they win that movie. There's a saying in golf: there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're down, you don't care if it's by $5 or it's going to be like. You're just happy that you moved to 2 or 2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point. He just left by a car with a left shoe off. How do you assess what that means?
Oh my God. The door just moved. Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
If we're being honest, that's one creepy mannequin. It almost looks like there's someone trapped inside. The face twisted like it's in pain. She has no clue where her grandfather got it from, but she's starting to think keeping it around might have been a mistake. Still, before jumping to conclusions, she wants to be sure she's not imagining things. So, what do you think? Is it all in her head, or is there a possibility that her grandpa might have known more about the mannequin than he let on? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. In the following video, a few men were burning down an old house on their property, something they'd planned for months and even got permission from the fire department to do. It was raining that day, the air thick with smoke and steam as the fire began to spread through the fragile old wood. Everything seemed normal until they reviewed the footage. Watch this.
Okay. I'm gonna try and look in and see what it's like. It's pretty good. Oh, it did that low. You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. It's like exploding. Hold your breath and go look. Just make sure you can get out because it's pretty cute. It's pretty amazing inside there. Did you look in the doorway?
Yeah, flames are coming out.
No, better not be.
Grand Low better be out there. We're out. Oh, my name's better. Oh, my name's better. Oh, my name's better. Yeah, hey, Grand Low, y'all get out.
Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Hey, the water's dripping off the house is hot. Whoa. Whoa, you hear that? Gee whiz. It's like busting the glass out. Look at that. Gee, you hear it?
Right there, through the rising flames, a faint figure can be seen moving, but everyone swears no one was inside when they lit the fire. Some people think it might have been a trick of the smoke or a reflection from the rain. Others believe it could be the spirit of someone who once lived there, finally showing itself as the place was destroyed. A few locals even claim that the house had a dark history, that years ago, a man who owned the property disappeared without a trace, and that this might have been his spirit, still bound to the place. Whatever it was, the timing feels too perfect to ignore. So, was it a coincidence? Or did the fire awaken something that was never meant to be disturbed? You decide. Now, in this next video, a man captures something far from ordinary on camera. Watch this.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I've seen. Holy hell.
The hands on the glass suddenly vanish, and with the way the dog is barking, almost like it's warning him, something's definitely not right. But what he shared later made the situation much more disturbing. He says ever since that night, things inside his home haven't been the same. Faint knocks on his bedroom door around 3 a.m., his phone light turning on by itself, and that constant feeling like someone's standing just behind him. Then it got worse. He'd wake up to find his closet door wide open and the same set of handprints on his mirror, pressed deep, as if someone had been standing inside the room watching him sleep. His dog now refuses to enter that side of the house, growling at something unseen every night. He's even tried blessing the place, but it didn't stop. In fact, he says it made the activity more intense, like whatever was there got angry. Now he sleeps with the lights on and avoids looking at that window altogether. So what do you think? Was that a simple reflection gone wrong, or did he accidentally capture something paranormal? In this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration of the old Berlin tannery factory, and this time, he makes his way up to the second floor. Locals say this is the most active part of the building, the same place investigators have long believed holds a portal, a gateway between the living and the dead. When Ian reached that floor, he said the air felt heavier and the energy shifted instantly. Watch this.
Sounded like something in there. If there's anyone in there, could you peek out from this doorway? Man, I get a creepy feeling looking in there. What the f was that? Something just went flying. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
Without warning, the severed hand prop flies off the table as if it were grabbed by an unseen force.
That table, right there. Oh my god, dude, that's so freaky. Oh god, there's a dude hanging right there. Who just threw this hand? Are you some kind of poltergeist? That came through the portal? Whoa, why are those moving? Those should not be swinging. Dude, it feels like I'm in a portal right now. I wonder if this is where it is. Jesus Christ. Could you throw one of these props that are on this table? Throw them wherever you like. How about one of these ones? Oh God, excuse me. Dead body. Could you move something over here? Oh my gosh, I still can't believe that. Dude, that thing went flying, and I'm pretty sure I caught it on camera. Never did I think I would see a severed hand go flying.
Now, skeptics might call it a draft or the building settling, but there was no open window, no movement, nothing that could have caused that. Some say the second floor is where the worker who died in the factory accident was last seen alive, and his spirit never really left. Others believe it's the portal itself reacting to Ian's presence, warning him to leave before he crosses into something he can't come back from. Whatever it was, Ian said that moment felt different, like he wasn't alone. Now, he's starting to believe the stories about the portal might not be urban legend after all. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was recorded by Rosanna, who's now living away from her home after everything she's endured, the sleepless nights, the haunting noises, the unexplained bruises, and now she's updating those who think she's giving up too soon. She says people see only snippets of what she's faced, but if they lived even one night in that house, they'd understand why she had to leave. Watch this. It started with the toys, then the worst happened when she caught a shadow, a male figure, standing behind her. Many believe this is the same entity that's been tormenting her since the beginning. Others think it's something new. It's easy for people to call her story fake or staged, but only those who've truly brushed against the unknown, those who've seen their world twist into something unrecognizable, can understand the terror she describes. The endless fear, the hollow exhaustion, the frustration of trying to explain what's happening and being met with disbelief. It's a slow kind of madness, one that breaks people piece by piece. You might remember one of her earlier videos, the one where the toilet seat was slamming up and down violently. That clip drew all sorts of reactions. Some claimed it was staged, others went as far as to say there was someone hanging from the ceiling. So this time, Rosanna decided to make another video. Despite every instinct screaming at her not to, she went back into that same bathroom, a place she hadn't stepped foot in for months because of the intense fear it gave her, and she filmed again. Watch this. She received hundreds of comments after this, messages telling her don't let the house win, it feeds on your fear, and stand your ground. But really, is it that easy? This is a woman who's tried everything. Priests, mediums, cleansing rituals, yet the more she fights back, the stronger it seems to get. You can see it in her voice, her movements, her words, she's worn down. And still, she shares her story. Not for attention, but for answers. She says that though she's ready to give up the house, she hopes someone out there knows something she doesn't, a real solution. Something that could finally set her free, or at least make the house safe again for whoever owns it next. But until that happens, this is the current situation. She's heard screams before, but this one was different. You can almost feel the rush of panic through the screen, and sometimes she says she wishes she could just wake up and realize it was all a dream. But this is her reality, a home she owns, bought on credit, a place she once thought would be a sanctuary for her and her children, now a source of dread. She's separated, raising her kids on her own, and fighting a battle she can't even see. And until she finds something, anything, that truly works, not just temporary calm before the next storm, Rosanna's case remains a mystery. This next video was recorded on January 29th, 2024 by a home camera, and it captures something that left a woman absolutely stunned. That morning, she was alone at home with her baby. Everything seemed normal, quiet, calm, like any other early morning, until this happened. Watch. When the door opened, she looked up and saw her partner. He was standing there, right at the door. Confused, she asked, "Why are you home so early?" It was around 5 or 6 in the morning, and she knew his shift wouldn't end for hours, but he didn't answer. He just stood there, completely still, staring at her. She sat there for a few seconds, unsure if he was joking or angry. Then, suddenly, he turned around and began walking away, slowly, without saying a word. She got annoyed and followed after him, calling his name, but he didn't respond. He didn't even look back. When she reached the bottom of the stairs, everything changed. The entire downstairs was pitch black. No lights on, no sign of anyone, and that's when it hit her. Her husband didn't even have a key with him that morning. There was no possible way he could have walked in. Terrified, she ran to check the home security footage, and what she saw made her blood run cold. While she was downstairs, the bedroom door upstairs, the one she'd left open, slowly closed on its own. Then, moments later, it opened again. When she called her husband later that morning, he laughed nervously, saying, "Maybe I sent my doppelganger to check on you." But that joke didn't sit right with her. Some people believe what she encountered was a doppelganger, an exact copy or spirit double of a living person, often considered a sign of bad luck or an omen. Others think it was a spirit manifestation, using her husband's image to gain her trust. Something intelligent that wanted to be seen. Whatever the truth is, that morning changed everything for her. So, what do you think? Was it her husband's doppelganger, or something else pretending to be him? You decide. Now, in this next clip, an explorer went into an abandoned building, and according to him, this turned out to be the creepiest thing that has ever happened in his 5 years of exploring defunct and forgotten places. Watch this. Out of nowhere, faint music began playing from the hallway he just walked through minutes earlier, a hallway that had been completely silent. It sounded like a full orchestra, and for a few seconds, he stood there trying to make sense of it, convinced maybe he wasn't alone. His first thought wasn't ghosts or the paranormal, it was people. Well, he didn't wait to find out who, or what, was playing that music. He grabbed his gear and left. Later that night, when he got home and calmed down, curiosity got the best of him. He started digging into the building's history, and that's when everything suddenly made sense. Turns out, the place was one of the oldest and most haunted historic buildings in the area. He says he'll never go back there again. And after hearing the story, it's easy to understand why. But what do you think really happened that night? Was it just old building acoustics and bad wiring? Or was he caught in the middle of a performance that never truly ended? You decide. In this next clip, a woman had just moved into a new house, the kind of old property that still creaks in the corners and holds onto the faint smell of dust and rain. While unpacking and getting things set up, she went down to the basement and found a doll. It was sitting perfectly upright on one of the wooden shelves, like it had been down there for decades. She said it startled her for a moment, but it didn't feel threatening, at least not then. So she laughed it off, left it exactly where it was, and went back to her room. But that decision might have been a mistake, because a few days later this happened.
My door keeps shaking.
Now, it's easy to see why people believe the doll might be connected to whatever's happening. In the footage, you can see the basement door rattling violently, almost as if someone on the other side is trying to force their way out. But she's not ready to jump to conclusions. She wants to be sure before she does anything drastic, like getting rid of the doll. So, for now, this remains unsolved. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. The building has a long, unsettling history. Years ago, when it operated as a sanatorium, a woman named Alice reportedly died during childbirth in the basement. But that wasn't the end of her story. Locals say her cries still echo through the empty hallways late at night, soft, trembling sobs of a woman calling for her baby. With that history in mind, Ian decided to do what few others would, spend the night alone inside the Argo Hotel. At first it was quiet, but when he entered one of the guest rooms, he immediately got the sense that something wasn't right. Watch this.
Are you standing over here? Oh my God. There's nobody in here. And I'm hearing voices. And that was like the same voice from before. Is it true what they say? Is it true that you're still searching for your baby? Holy moly, you guys. It feels like I'm being followed. Like everywhere I go. That was definitely freaky. Not hearing much more. I'm definitely gonna leave cameras in here and see if anything else happens.
All the windows in that room were completely shut, and if it were a draft, the entire curtain would have moved. Instead, only one side moved, as if an unseen hand was brushing against it. Trying not to panic, Ian left the room and began exploring another when he heard a sound.
I'm almost certain it's coming from this door, room 6. This is said to be one of the most haunted rooms. If you're in there, could you make a sound through that door? See what happens if I knock on it. Anyone home? Whoa! No freaking way. Dude, that doorknob, it just freaking jiggled. Oh my god. This freaking thing, it just freaking jiggled all by itself. And there should be no one in here. Let's look.
Some say it was Alice, maybe showing her presence or warning him not to disturb her peace. Others think the hotel itself has absorbed too much of the pain and loss over the years, and now it breathes on its own. Did he really capture proof of the paranormal, or was it just the Argo Hotel reminding him that some stories never rest? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was recorded around 3 a.m. by a guy who struggles to sleep at night, so he usually keeps himself busy until the exhaustion finally kicks in. On this particular night, he was watching TV like he always does, but when he stood up to head to bed, he suddenly felt something. Watch this.
What's up?
What the f? Did you hear that jingle then? You hear that jingle? That definitely moved. What the f is going on in this house? And my cat as well just keeps doing this. My cat just keeps walking around meowing, which is also freaking me out. So weird. So weird. Are you here to hurt me? Are you here to do me harm? Are you friendly? Whoa, what the f? Nah. Nah, f off. No way. What the f? No, man. No way that just moved. Loki? Loki? You need to get out of my house, whatever you are, whoever you are, you need to leave. You need to leave right now. I don't know what's going on.
The moment viewers saw the African mask hanging on his wall, the comments section exploded. People wanted to know where he got it, how long he'd had it, and whether its presence lined up with the strange activity he'd been experiencing. And the more he talked, the more everything started to make sense. He revealed that he's owned the mask for a year, but it had only been inside his home for a couple of months. And ever since then, he'd been hearing noises while lying in bed. Light taps, distant footsteps, soft shuffling in the hallway. At first, he ignored it, but now it's escalating. Another morning, around 4 a.m., wide awake again and unable to shake the uneasiness, he finally decided to make a video for everyone begging to see the mask up close. Watch.
Anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close? What kind of mask it is? How old it might be? No expert. But what the Well, that's not freaky, is it? Jesus Christ. For God's sake. I'm tripping over stuff now. Hello? Hello? Nell! Everyone's been saying, why have you got the lights off all the time? The landing light does not work, right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I ain't shit scared of going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody in the house but me and whatever the this is with me. Oh! Oh my God! Oh, fucking hell. There was a figure in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why are you doing this? Huh?
After that clip surfaced, his viewers began sharing their own experiences with similar African masks. Some claimed the masks brought them sudden waves of bad luck until they removed them from their homes. Others said their once quiet house became strangely active and unsettling the moment the mask was hung up, Many urged him to get rid of it before whatever was attached to it got comfortable. And here's where things get even more intriguing. In many African cultures, traditional masks aren't just decorations, they're spiritual artifacts. Some are used in ceremonies to honor ancestors, summon spirits, or protect the tribe. But others serve as conduits, symbols meant to channel ancient energies, often tied to rituals outsiders may not fully understand. If a mask like this was once used in a ritual or belonged to a lineage of spiritual significance, it could carry an imprint, a presence. So the real question is, does he just have an artifact on his wall, or did he unknowingly bring something ancient into his home? In this next clip, two friends were on their way home after a party. They were still laughing, still hyped, and decided to record a quick video to send to the friends who couldn't make it, just to show them how the night went and how chaotic the party had been. But while filming that harmless update, they ended up capturing something entirely different. Have a look.
Got my son in the back seat. Shut your You ain't getting no ice cream! Why do you scream like that? No. Hello? Hello? I don't like that. Did that with her? Grab the phone. What the heck? Did we just catch a paranormal X? Huh? Grab the phone. I'm not doing this no more. Grab the phone. I'm trying. Don't leave me. What do you do? I'm about to fall on my face. No, I'm not. No! No, do not. Door. Is it still recording? Yes! Oh my god, it's me.
Now, here's where things get strange. The exact moment they screamed, the car's light suddenly went off. But could there be a normal explanation? Some people think so. They argue that loud vibrations inside a car can loosen wiring or cause an already faulty light to flicker. Maybe the timing was just a strange coincidence, but others aren't buying it. They point out that the light didn't dim. It cut out instantly, like something interfered with the energy around them. Some are convinced they might have stirred up something they couldn't see, something that reacted the moment their voices spiked. So did their screaming disrupt the car light, or did they unknowingly catch a paranormal moment on camera? You decide. Now in this next video, a woman named Jennifer Ricks stumbled upon an old clip her daughter recorded about a year ago. Before finding this video, Jennifer had already been dealing with strange things around the house. Moments where she'd be sitting completely still, home alone, and a dark shadow would walk past the hallway like it had somewhere to be. Her dog, normally calm, also barks at odd hours of the night, sometimes staring into corners as if watching something move. But she never connected any of it. Not until she saw this clip. According to her daughter, the moment she was filming, it felt like someone was trying to take a peek at her from behind the door. That quiet, unsettling sensation of being watched, the same feeling Jennifer herself had dismissed for months. And when you put this clip side by side with all the strange things that have been happening in the house, it's hard not to understand why Jennifer now believes something is truly off. But the real fear isn't what they've already seen, it's what might come next. If this presence has been around for over a year without them realizing it, what else has it been doing that they haven't noticed yet? Until more updates come in, this one remains completely unsolved. The following footage was taken by a man's home camera, and what he later saw still stuns him to this day. Have a look.
You want to see something weird? I have the blink camera and the poltergeist static. Now I know that nobody is home. I check back on the footage and I see a light turn off downstairs. But there's nobody home. Nobody home. Nobody home. Very weird, but a very, very good capture. Check this out. I mean, people could be like, oh, well, there was somebody down there, and I wouldn't post something like that, right? This is crazy.
The craziest part of this footage is that you can clearly hear the sound of the light switch being flipped. That sharp, unmistakable click that only happens when someone physically touches it. Your first thought might be an intruder, right? Someone wandering through the house without his knowledge. But that theory falls apart quickly when you know the other things he's shared. Objects in his house have moved suddenly without explanation. A few times, items have even fallen on him, as if pushed, and more than once, he's caught faint laughter echoing from this exact same room. Soft, almost playful, but definitely not human. Viewers who analyzed his older clips pointed out something else. Strange-looking dolls and toys scattered around the room, some with faces that look unsettlingly worn or distorted. He's never addressed their origin, but people can't help but wonder if one of them is tied to whatever's going on. So when you take everything together, the laughter, the objects moving, the eerie toys, and now a light switch flipping on its own, the idea of an intruder becomes the least likely explanation. It feels more like something has made this room its space, something that doesn't mind being heard, and now doesn't mind being seen. But in the end, I'll leave it to you. What do you think he's dealing with? Having a home camera is like having an extra pair of eyes watching the moments you never even knew were happening. And that's exactly what happened in this next clip you're about to see. Watch. The camera suddenly detected movement, followed by loud banging and knocking that seemed to come out of nowhere. The owner of the house said it felt like something was there, something she couldn't see but definitely could hear. That's why she decided to share the footage online, hoping other people might catch something she's been missing. So take another look. What else do you see in this clip? In this next clip, a man and his son went to check on a storage unit where he keeps all his fancy collectibles and strange antiques. But lately he's been convinced something malevolent is inside that unit. Objects shift on their own, and even the employees have reached out to complain about loud crashes and bangs coming from his space. They even invited him over so they could show him the clips themselves, and confirm whether he was anywhere near the facility when those sounds were recorded. But he wasn't. And that only made his suspicions feel a whole lot more real. But the staff didn't believe him at first, so he decided to prove it. He set up cameras inside the unit. Watch.
But just watch the video for yourself.
After he posted this clip, viewers swarmed the comments warning him to never take the cursed monkey doll home. This doll, which cost him nearly $2,000, has a history he didn't know about until it was too late. From the moment he brought it into the unit, the activity escalated. Wherever this doll sits, things fall, objects slide, and even heard from people that once owned something like it that it might be tied to old ceremonial practices, or that the doll was once used as a vessel in rituals meant to house wandering spirits. Whether any of that is true, well, that's up for debate, but one thing is certain, he's never carrying that doll home. Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration inside one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted places, the Argo Hotel. If you've been following his investigations, you already know this place has a reputation for strange activity, and Ian has captured plenty of it on camera. But on this night, after wrapping up his walkthrough, he realized there was one room he hadn't checked. Watch.
Those are some freaky dolls. Did you just make that noise? It definitely came from over here. Little girl, if that was you, would you be able to... Oh God! Alright, that's it. That's it. That doll just turned and looked at me, and I am done. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Alright guys, I know I ran, but damn, that was freaky. I don't know, I just couldn't handle it down there anymore. There's just a whole nother feeling, especially when you're all by yourself. Oh man, that was so freaking crazy. I can't believe that doll just turned and looked at me like that. It looked like it was possessed. Like it literally, like I was worried I was gonna get possessed or something. Like, oh my gosh, dude, that was so freaking scary. Holy moly. But anyways, I'm gonna leave cameras down there for the rest of the night. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm about at my limit for now. But this is a fantastic location. I absolutely love this place. This was such a fun investigation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, be sure to like it. Again, comment your thoughts down below, and also subscribe if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys on the next one.
The doll suddenly turns, slowly, directly toward him, almost like it's aware of him, like it's responding. And in that moment, Ian is done. Completely done with this place. He leaves immediately. No hesitation, no second guesses. But the question is, how did it move? The most well-known spirit in the Argo Hotel is a woman named Alice, believed to haunt the basement. According to local stories, she passed away in childbirth in the 1940s, and people say she still wanders the halls searching for her lost baby. Some think she attaches herself to children's toys. Others believe dolls act as vessels that make it easier for her to communicate. Whatever the case may be, the Argo Hotel continues to leave investigators with more questions than answers, and to this day, the mystery remains. This first clip was recorded by a woman during her night shift at work. But before you watch the clip, here's a little backstory. When she first started this job, she kept hearing her coworkers whispering about the place being haunted. The story goes that people have seen a little boy wandering around, always carrying a red balloon. And every once in a while, that same red balloon shows up out of nowhere. At first, she brushed it off as just creepy workplace gossip, until the night she captured this.
It's the only one that's doing it. And there's no vents or like... No, that's the only one that's It's doing that. That's creepy. It's going all the fucking way out, Janelle. Look at that. God, that's trippy.
Now here's where it gets weird. She later admitted this wasn't the first time she'd noticed strange things happening. Sometimes doors would creak open with no one around, or she'd hear faint footsteps down the hall when she was working alone. But the balloon? That was the detail that kept coming back. Apparently, whenever balloons were needed at work, like for parties or events, only the red one ever acted strange. It would drift in unnatural ways, moving against the air or separating itself from the bunch and floating into empty rooms. No other balloon, just the red one. So when she finally caught it on camera, she couldn't help but connect it to what everyone had been saying all along. So was this really the spirit of that little boy? Or is there some other explanation behind why that red balloon always seems to have a mind of its own? Let me know what you think. This next video comes from a woman named Kay, who works in a nursing home. She's been there about 5 years, and until recently, nothing out of the ordinary had ever happened on her shift. But one night while she was working late, something happened that she couldn't explain.
8:03, so we're gonna go to 8:03. Literally, no one in here. Nada. Tell me why. And I've turned off all these call lights. I think I'm just gonna keep the lights on for the time being, because I'm probably gonna have to keep coming in here. But literally, they're like, the buttons aren't even lighting up in here. It's just alarming outside in the hallway that there's somebody in here pushing it. And we've been in here twice now.
Her coworkers told her not to worry about it. They said it was probably just a short in the circuit, old wiring, lights flickering, that kind of thing. But Kay didn't buy it. Something about the way it happened just didn't sit right with her. So she started asking questions, and what she found out made her even more uneasy. Turns out, someone had actually passed away in that very room about a year earlier, and ever since then, the room has been completely empty. No new residents were placed there, and that begged the question, why leave a perfectly good room unused for so long? When Kay pushed a little harder, her colleagues finally admitted the truth. After the death, they did try to move new residents in, but every single one of them complained about strange things happening. Some said they felt like someone was standing in the room with them. Others said they heard whispers or footsteps at night, and one even said they saw a figure at the foot of the bed. The stories got so frequent and unsettling that management eventually decided to stop using the room altogether. And of course, they never told the other residents. No one wanted panic spreading through the home. Instead, they came up with logical excuses to calm people down. It was just the old pipes, or drafts moving the curtains, or maybe side effects from medication. But the nurses who worked those shifts knew better. They felt it too. The heaviness in the air, that uncomfortable feeling that the room wasn't really empty. So now the door stays closed, no one goes in, no one gets assigned there, and everyone quietly hopes that whatever's in that room stays put, and doesn't start showing up in other places. Now, in this next video, a security guard named Alex Nunez captured something undeniably creepy while working the night shift at the SF Armory. Check this out.
Oh, hell no. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm here in this building by myself, bro. By myself.
Alex has been saying for a while that this building is strange, but this time he finally had something on camera to back it up. And honestly, it's easy to understand his frustration. I mean, security guards are trained to deal with break-ins, trespassers, or maybe the occasional wild animal sneaking in. But how do you prepare for something you can't even see? According to Alex, those 2 doors that opened are heavy, way too heavy for a draft to move them. That's why when he shared this video online, people had all kinds of theories. Some think it's a classic case of residual energy, maybe tied to the armory's long history. Others believe it could be an actual spirit, trying to make its presence known. And of course, a few skeptics insist it's all just a setup, or maybe some kind of mechanical fault. So, could this be real evidence of a haunting inside the SF armory? Or is there another explanation? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, we'll all agree that security cameras are supposed to give us peace of mind. They're meant to catch movement, keep a record, and make you feel safe in your own home. But what happens when the cameras don't pick up a single thing moving? Yet when you turn on the audio, you hear footsteps, banging, and even voices that shouldn't be there. That's exactly what the family in this next clip has been dealing with almost every single day. Listen closely. According to the mother who posted this, the activity isn't always this intense, but she says it always gets worse during a certain time of the year, the anniversary of when a child tragically passed away inside that same house, long before she ever rented it. She's described nights when the family would jolt awake to heavy banging on the doors, lasting for nearly 20 minutes straight before suddenly stopping. Other times, they'll hear the sound of small footsteps running across the upstairs hallway, even though no one's there. For the family, it's reached a point where they can't brush it off as house noises anymore, especially when the cameras stay visually empty, but the audio tells a completely different story. So what do you think? Is this lingering spirit activity tied to that child's tragic past? Or could there be another reason why their home comes alive with sounds no one can explain? In this next clip, a man named Sean Austin recorded something strange coming from his ceiling late at night. Listen.
I just heard 2 ridiculous taps on the ceiling. Very loud. It is 8:39 at night. I do not believe anyone would be... is that? I don't know if that's an animal or what the hell that is exactly, but have been having weird things happen here on and off. I'm going to be going live here tonight and see what else kind of weird things happen. I do not know what that noise is, if it's an animal or natural noise, but that just happened out of nowhere. I've never heard that before. So let's find out what that's all about. I've never heard that noise before.
Now, Sean lives on the top floor, so the only explanation he can really think of is an animal, maybe a raccoon, a squirrel, or something else that somehow found its way up there. But even he admits the taps were unusually loud, almost like something was intentionally tapping rather than just scurrying around. Of course, once he posted the video online, people came up with all sorts of other ideas. Some said it sounded more like footsteps than an animal, as if someone was pacing back and forth directly above his head. Others suggested it could be poltergeist activity, a spirit trying to get his attention in the only way it could. A few even brought up darker theories, pointing out that consistent tapping or knocking is often said to be a sign of something trying to make contact. For Sean, all of that sounds a little far-fetched. But what unsettles him most is the fact that he's lived in that place for years and never once has he heard anything like it before. He's still investigating, so until he posts an update, this remains unsolved. This next video starts out looking silly, a simple Elmo balloon standing still, but the moment it begins to do the unthinkable, the tone changes completely.
Gabe. Quiet. Quiet.
Instead of drifting the way a balloon normally would, it looks like it's climbing step by step. You can even hear her dogs barking as if they're reacting to something she can't see. But then, the real chills came when the balloon suddenly stopped mid-step, almost as if it's aware of being watched. Now, she said herself she's never felt more tempted to pop a balloon in her life. And sure, helium balloons can do weird things when they start to deflate. But here's the part that's hard to brush off. This Elmo balloon looks like it's actually moving its legs, and that's not how balloons behave. And it wasn't just the dogs reacting either, even her cat seemed unsettled. Afterward, she revealed that her dogs have refused to come back into the house since the incident, and her cat acts restless and upset whenever it's near that balloon. That's when she started to feel real fear, because if even the animals won't go near it, what does that say? So why not just pop it and be done with it? Well, that's where it gets creepier. In her original video, she mentioned she couldn't wait to pop it until she saw a comment that made her blood run cold. It said, "If you pop it, whatever's inside will come out." That single thought has been haunting her ever since, so instead of getting rid of it, she's been trying to put precautionary things in place, just in case. She's also been recording every strange moment she can, just in case something happens. So, is this all just the weird physics of a helium balloon? Or is there really something inside that nobody wants to see released? You decide.